Trump's NFTs sell out in 12 hours. 50 Cent is suing a plastic surgeon for suggesting he used their penis enhancement surgery. And Steven Tyler thinks all Metallica songs sound alike. I'm Sammy Davis, and this is some dumb news. I'm not above calling myself out. Last week I reported that Donald Trump was selling some digital trading cards, though at the time I did not know if they were NFTs. Now I'm here to correct myself on at least one point. Trump made this announcement with an infomercial where he clearly announced it as an NFT drop. In that video he advertised the cards as representations from his life, like that time he was an Old West sheriff, or that time he was an astronaut, or that great historic moment we all remember when he was a NASCAR driver. I didn't make a big deal out of the story since crypto markets have been performing poorly in 2022, with NFTs becoming a punchline of the already highly mockable crypto world. And boy was I wrong! The collection included 45,000 digital trading cards sold for $99 a piece, and 12 hours after launch, they sold out, netting the former president $4.45 million. Remember, these NFTs were not related to Trump's presidential campaign, though many have presidential branding. Since this is not connected to his campaign, Trump will be able to pocket most of that money, and if history is any indicator, he'll likely file it as a loss in next year's taxes. Angela Kogan runs the Perfect Plastic Surgery and Med Spa, which offers penis enhancement surgery. In 2020, 50 Cent visited the spa and Kogan asked for a picture with the rap star. He obliged, and in the 2 years since, the spa has used that image in some of their advertising, sometimes suggesting that 50 Cent may have used their undercarriage upgrade service. Now the rapper is suing the spa, alleging that he never gave permission to use his likeness in advertising. Part of the issue is how others use the image, including a Power 94 article titled "Penis Enhancements Are More Popular Than Ever and BBLs Are Dying Out," published in August of this year. To be clear, I cannot say if Kogan provided the images used in the article or if author Matthew McNulty snagged several images from Kogan's Instagram. On the other hand, since the article is a promotional fluff piece about this med spa and 50 Cent's image is associated with groin growth, I can see how that and other images in the article could be questioned for their usage to promote the spa. As for 50 Cent, I genuinely do not care if he went to the spa for a massage or a manhood enhancement, but in his position, I'd be pretty upset about how the image has been used. Moving on, when I was a kid, Aerosmith's Steven Tyler was often making news for saying or doing stupid things. At the time, the band had their first #1 hit with "I Don't Want to Miss a Thing" from the Armageddon movie, and over the past 20 years, Tyler has kind of dropped out of the public eye, despite Aerosmith continuing to tour and release new music. Now, with Tyler's new autobiography, "Does the Noise in My Head Bother You?", he's back in the news after throwing some shade at Metallica. Tyler says, "You can't put your finger on what we do because we do a lot of different kinds of music, unlike Metallica, which does only one genre. Have you ever heard a slow Metallica song? Is there one that you could dance to at prom? If you ask them, they'd go, 'Why would we?'" To answer Tyler specifically, I can think of one slow Metallica song, "Nothing Else Matters." I also thought about one, but it gets pretty thrashy midway through, so Tyler's point stands on that one. Also, there are some bands that have perfected that one sound, and while they rarely stray from it, they are able to play in that space and keep things interesting, like Cake. I love Cake, but most of their songs sound the same. Great, now I'm throwing shade at bands. The world's second richest man may finally be finished with Twitter. After a long week of claiming to support free speech and then banning accounts that spoke against him, Elon Musk faces waves of backlash and criticism. Eventually, Twitter announced a new policy that most links to other platforms would be banned. In less than 24 hours, Twitter walked that policy back. Finally, on Sunday, Musk Musk tweeted a poll asking if he should step down as head of Twitter and claiming that he would abide by the decision. The poll has closed with 17.5 million votes, nearly 58% voting yes to the question. Now, the real interesting thing will be if he actually steps down. Musk has actively been trying to run Twitter into the ground after claiming that he would be the only one to make it a profitable venture. I believe he only bought the website to ban the bot account that used publicly available data to announce whenever Musk's private plane took off and landed. Last week, that account was finally banned, which should have been the end of the story, but when reporters started tweeting stories about the ban, the world's second richest man started banning those accounts too. Eventually, Musk met with several journalists on a Twitter Space, a voice chat feature Twitter had been working on. Midway through the discussion, Musk seemed to contradict himself, so he left the chat room and Twitter promptly discontinued Spaces. Now about 10 million Twitter users are ready for the drama to end. Moving on, no good deed goes unpunished, and in downtown San Diego, one homeless man learned that lesson after trying to help change a flat tire. On Sunday morning, a man drove an excavator out of a construction site to help a driver change his tire. He lifted the car with the excavator and the vehicle's owner was able to change his tire, then police arrived and arrested the excavator driver. Apparently, the man was one of San Diego's destitute population and had stolen the excavator. The car had minimum damage and the pavement saw a few scuff marks. The suspect claimed, "I did nothing wrong and they are taking me for no reason." I guess no one told him that theft, even for a good cause, is still illegal. On the real, I do hope this suspect is released. I mean, sure, he stole the excavator, but not to go for a joyride or commit vile acts of construction. He simply wanted to help a fellow human in need. Free the excavator thief! One of the best ways to help deal with feral animal populations is with a catch and release program. By feeding stray animals, you are able to lure them into a trap, take them to get spayed or neutered, and then release them back where you found them, knowing they won't be able to make more feral animals. But in Alabama, Beverly Roberts and Mary Alston were arrested and fined for doing just that. At the time of their arrest, Mayor Jerry Willis called police, claiming the pair were responsible for property damage and causing a public nuisance. When police arrived, Alston claimed that she was trapping feral cats, but the officer demanded that she stop. The two have been sentenced to 2 years of unsupervised parole and must pay a $100 fine each, all for feeding cats and trying to reduce the feral cat population. It's the end of another year, which means the holidays are upon us again, and to celebrate the start of Hanukkah, the New York Times crossword puzzle looked like a swastika. The puzzle grid's center looks like the Nazi hate symbol, and it may have been shrugged off as a coincidence if it hadn't been published on the first night of Hanukkah. However, the New York Times claims it was all an accident, stating, "This is a common crossword design. Many open grids in crosswords have a similar spiral pattern because of the rules around rotational symmetry and black squares." I've seen a lot of symmetric crossword puzzles, but I gotta tell you, I've never seen a swastika, so I don't know how common that design truly is. Bear 609, a Tennessee black bear, was recently relocated to Georgia after regularly feeding at a Tennessee picnic table. Now, after traveling 1,000 miles from Georgia through South and North Carolinas, Bear 609 is back in Tennessee and back at her favorite picnic table. I mean, at this point, the park officials should probably just give that picnic table to her, but it's more likely that she'll be euthanized, as many adult bears who become dependent on human food eventually are. Look, I didn't want to bum you out, but for as amazing as this black bear's journey was, the real world is going to catch up. Let's just focus on the fact that one black bear went on a 1,000-mile hike to find her favorite picnic table. In Cambridge, little delivery robots have been zooming around the city for at least a month. The 6-wheeled bots were designed to work in temperatures as low as -4 degrees Fahrenheit, but after some heavy snowfall, one bot got stuck. Graham Smith snapped this photo and then decided to help the drone by lifting its back and helping it back onto the sidewalk. It tested the ground by moving backwards and forwards before saying thank you very much and continuing on its route. In the US, we have a poor track record with robots who need human assistance, so I don't know if the American version of this story would be as cute. That said, I think I would do what Smith did, taking a picture and helping the little robot on its way. But what about you? Would you help a robot in need? But that's it for some dumb news. Many of my favorite YouTubers have started their holiday breaks, but I'm still trying to grow this channel to a point where I can monetize it, so I plan on continuing to release some dumb news throughout this week at least. If you see some dumb news that you would like me to cover, leave it in the comments below. As always, you can help me out by subscribing, liking the video, and sharing it with your friends. I'm Sammy Davis, and I hope to see you soon for some more dumb news.